Jayson Tatum is back. And while everyone looks at the stats, they're missing the real reason this changes everything for the Boston Celtics. It's not just about Jayson Tatum's skill on the basketball court. It's about the mere fact that he is Jayson Tatum. Tatum made his season debut on Friday night against the Dallas Mavericks, less than 10 months after rupturing his Achilles. That alone is incredible. But from a basketball perspective, it's a game changer for Boston. Watch this play from the Celtics' first game against the Mavericks this season on February 3rd. Jaylen Brown comes off a screen from Luka Garza, and Cooper Flagg is in the corner guarding Ugo Gonzalez. Flagg helps over on Brown, who finds a cutting Ugo, but Ugo gets blocked at the rim. Now, watch this Derek White pull-up. It's late in the shot clock. White needs to get up a shot, but Flagg is right there in the strong side corner. But he didn't help. Neither did Max Christie, who was right above the play. That's because Tatum and Brown are on the floor. That's gravity. If that were Baylor Shireman, Ugo Gonzalez, Jordan Walsh, or any other role player on the Celtics, Flagg would have helped off. But he didn't, because now the Celtics don't just have one gravity-inducing superstar on the court. They have two.
About all those clutch games, that only happens if you play hard. You find yourself in games late, and then it comes down to that lack of experience.
Washington, Cada, White with 6 on the shot clock. He pulls the midi.
Look here again from that February Mavericks game. Peyton Pritchard tries to drive into the paint. Brown is all the way at the halfway line trying to create space on the floor. But on Pritchard's drive, Flagg and Gafford swarm the paint, eventually swatting the ball away. Now, watch this pick and roll from Tatum's return game. D. White runs it with Neemias Queta, Brown is in one corner, and Tatum on the opposite side of the floor. Flagg is guarding Brown, so he doesn't help over. And when White gets downhill, Najee Marshall shows his hand for a second on the drive, but realizes he has to stick with Tatum. So Tatum, off the ball, shifts up to the wing, bringing Marshall with him. He can't help on the play because he doesn't want to let Jayson Tatum touch the ball. That gives White a chance to finish at the rim with ease.
Pressure, cross, step away, up and under, doesn't go.
Around the Cada screen, snakes it, got all the way to the rim for the lay.
Tatum's gravity adds so much to the Celtics offense, and the gravity goes both ways. That's why having Tatum and Brown is so important. Look at this play. Brown has the ball at the top of the key, and Tatum just starts sprinting. Neemias Queta sets a screen on Chris Middleton. Max Christie sees it, realizes it's Tatum, and chases him. They switch off the ball so Tatum can't get any space to catch it, but D. White sees the switch and takes off. Middleton is still recovering from the screen, so White cuts baseline, and Brown finds him for a bucket. Tatum wreaked havoc on the play without ever touching the ball. He wreaked havoc just because he's Jayson Tatum, and Brown was right there to make the play.
In the 8 minutes he was off, they were even. They played at 0 at that point, and you see another backdoor cut there.
Don't get me wrong. Tatum can score in isolation situations. Jaylen Brown can too. They don't need gravity to get theirs, but it elevates the rest of the team to another level. That's why their collective gravity is such a game changer for the Celtics. Look here. Tatum fakes a pick and roll with D. White, slips it, catches the pass, and slings it out to Hauser for an open 3 in the corner. Quick thinking, leading to a defense-altering possession. He created a 2-on-1 in the blink of an eye.
Brown getting a breather off the wide action. Tatum sprays it out to a wide open Hauser.
Then here, it's Jaylen's turn. He drives, draws in Christie, who mistakenly leaves Tatum in the corner, and Jaylen finds him with the pass. One swing pass later, and it's an open 3 for Derek White because the rotation is too late.
Got a little food with Powell on him here. Drives by, sprays it, one more. White for 3.
Even look at this play. It's a simple pick and roll with Queta. Look at how many options were open. Flagg switches onto Tatum, so Queta gets a great roll to the rim, and that forces Christie to help over. Queta could have dumped the ball to Jaylen Brown, who Christie was originally guarding, but Brandon Williams helps over from his guy to cover that pass. That leaves Peyton Pritchard open. Peyton Pritchard open. From 3. One pick and roll and so many options. Queta opts for the lay-in over the smaller defender, but the point stands.
Cada on the short roll got the layup.
Boston went from having 1 point of elite gravity to 2, and that changes everything. Obviously, when it comes to Tatum, the other stuff is incredible too. Tatum is the best pure playmaker on this Celtics team. Brown's been unbelievable, passing out of double teams, especially as the season has gone on. Derek White is a calming presence in the pick and roll, and Pritchard is an elite pure passer. But with his combination of size and skill, Tatum takes the cake. In just a few minutes of action, he showcased just how deadly his pick and roll with Neemias Queta can be. Then there's the rebounding. Tatum is one of the best defensive rebounders in the NBA, center or otherwise. In his first game back, he grabbed 11 defensive boards. He's always in the mix on the glass. And the defense will be there too. The timing may need some adjusting, especially with Boston's new defensive principles, but as an off-ball helper in particular, he'll be essential. Then, the scoring. Obviously the scoring. He's a pick and roll maestro, elite at finishing around the rim, and a constant threat to pull up from anywhere on the court. After a slow start, the Mavs relearned that the hard way on Friday night, and that's exactly what makes his gravity so monstrous. No one wants to leave his side, because if they do, he'll get an open shot or find one for a teammate. Brown did that for the entire time Tatum was out. Now, Tatum's back, and the Celtics have 2 guys who can can do it. The scoring is elite, the passing is incredible, the rebounding is crucial, and the defense is awesome. I can throw all the adjectives at you for Jayson Tatum, but the gravity, that's what makes the Celtics so dangerous. Everything revolves around the sun, and the Celtics now have 2 suns, and most nights there just aren't enough defenders in orbit to make up for that.
Tatum, butter,